It begins with silence, not the kind that's empty, the kind that's heavy, alive, like the air itself is listening. Jonathan Roumie stands just off camera, the lights are already burning hot on set, makeup, wardrobe, the hum of production. But he's still, eyes closed, head bowed, whispering. We'll never know exactly what he says in that prayer, but the crew notices. They always do. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last. Jonathan, we're ready for you? A voice calls. He opens his eyes slowly. There. A softness there, but also something sharper, conviction. He steps into frame. The cameras start rolling. And in that moment, you'd think you were looking at a man born for this role, but that's not the truth. The truth is harder. It's deeper. Years earlier, before The Chosen, before millions knew his name, Jonathan was just another working actor in Los Angeles, struggling, scraping together rent. Wondering if this was even the right path. Some days, he wasn't sure if anyone saw him at all. One evening, after yet another audition where the casting director barely looked up from their phone, he sat in his car. The sun was setting. The dashboard was warm, and he just broke. God, what am I even doing here? His voice cracked. No cameras. No audience, just him, and the question. That was the first time he almost quit. But something, a scripture he'd read earlier, stuck in his mind. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. So he stayed, kept showing up even when it hurt. The thing about faith, real faith, is that it's not about the big stage. It's about the small moments. Jonathan didn't just play a man of God on screen. He lived like one. It showed in ways no press release could capture. How he treated the crew, how he remembered names, how he'd quietly help someone pay a bill without telling a soul. One night, a grip on set came to work pale and distracted. His wife was in the hospital, bills piling up. Jonathan didn't say much, just asked a few questions, nodded. The next day, an envelope appeared in the man's trailer. No signature. Just enough cash to make the difference. The grip knew, but he also knew Jonathan would never want thanks. It wasn't just generosity. It was integrity. Once, during a late-night shoot, the director pushed for a line to be changed, just slightly, in a way that twisted its meaning. The words weren't blasphemous, but they bent the truth. Jonathan read it, paused, then set the script down. I can't say that, he said quietly, it's not the truth. Silence fell across the set. The director tried to argue, tried to explain it was just acting. But Jonathan didn't flinch, not from arrogance, not from pride, from conviction. They ended up keeping the original line. Later, a young actor from that same scene would tell him, "You have no idea how much that meant to me. I thought I was the only one who cared." Jonathan just smiled. "Then you keep caring," he said. But perhaps the moment that proved his heart the most came when no one expected it. It was during a press junket for The Chosen. Rows of cameras, reporters in neat lines. Bright lights, pre-written questions. Halfway through, a journalist, not hostile, but clearly skeptical, asked, "Do you really believe all this, or is it just a role?" Jonathan didn't rush his answer. He leaned forward slightly, hands clasped. "Yes," he said, "I believe every word. But more than that, I believe in living it when the cameras are off." The room went still. Even the reporter lowered her pen. Afterward, as he left, an intern from the press team caught him. Tears in her eyes. "I stopped believing years ago," she said, voice shaking, "but something about the way you answered, I don't know, it made me want to ask again." Jonathan didn't try to convert her on the spot. He just said, "Then ask until you find him." It's moments like that, small, private, unseen, that paint the real picture. Hollywood is full of speeches. Full of people who say the right thing when everyone's watching. Jonathan Roumie does the right thing when no one is. Months later, During an outreach event, he spoke to a crowd in a church basement. No stage lighting. No makeup. Just a circle of folding chairs. He told them about the nights he doubted, the prayers he thought went unanswered, and the quiet ways God kept showing up anyway. It wasn't polished. It wasn't rehearsed. It was real, and you could see it in every person leaning forward to listen. Some will still call it coincidence, luck, good PR, but for those who've worked with him, seen him, been helped by him, they'll tell you the same thing. Jonathan Roumie is exactly who you think he is, and maybe even more. Because the truest measure of someone's faith isn't in the words they speak under the lights. It's in the life they live in. The shadows, and by that measure, Jonathan Roumie is proof.